Hey everyone, it's Sam here. Today I've got a new card fold to share with you. I made this during a Wednesday Facebook Live craft along. I think I'm going to be calling this one a springy or spring pop-up bow card or tiered card. I'm not too sure yet, but it's really interesting and really fun and very, very easy. You don't need any dies for this one. I've got this beautiful paper and sentiment, which is from, actually I've just realised the middle part there needs to come out. There we go, makes it a bit more delicate now. You've got all your space on the back to be able to write your message. The whole thing folds up, it just springs it into shape. So the recipient has to do nothing. As soon as they take it out, it just pops up there. So it's really clever. And I've made a matching envelope, which I'm going to do with the card that I make with you now. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so I've already done kind of one half because you can double it up. So you've got your 3 sections here for the front and then 3 sections for the back, but it will stand with just the 3 pieces here. You might then just want to add this one small one on the back, but I do like it. I like that it starts like this at the front and then gets bigger and then gets smaller again at the back. I think it just gives it a really nice profile. So to make the exact one that I've got there, you're going to want to cut yourself, let's start from here, 2 pieces of 5x7. Along the 7-inch side, you're going to score at 3 3/8 and 3 5/8. You'll then want 2 pieces of 5x6. Along the 6-inch side, you're going to score at 2 7/8 and 3 1/8. And then you want 2 pieces of 5x5. And along one of those sides, you're going to score at 2 3/8 and 2 5/8. Whilst I've got the scoreboard out, I'll go through the pattern paper. You're going to want 2 pieces of 3 1/8 by 4 5/8, and they're to cover the largest panel at the back. You'll then want 2 pieces of 2 5/8 by 4 5/8, and they're to cover the middle tier or middle panels. And then I stuck both of these down, but it doesn't matter. You want 2 pieces of 4 5/8 by 2 1/8. You'll also need, if you're going to have your sentiment popping up in the middle, you might want to have your sentiment on the side here, but it's on this little support so it stays, you know, upright. And that is this piece here. So it's 2 3/4 by 1. Along the 2 3/4 side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 and 2 1/4. And then to give it its spring, in between each layer, you'll see there's these little springs that I've made. You're going to want 10 pieces. I'll take this one here. So 10 pieces of 1 1/2 by 1. Along the 1 1/2 side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 3/4 and 1 inch. You want to do that 10 times. So back to these main pieces here, you want to fold and burnish the 2 score lines that you'll have on each one. Fold them back in both directions as well, just to break down those fibres. I'm using a 300 GSM cardstock here. You don't need that heavy weight. Anything 230 up really is going to be fine for the construction of this card anyway. Okay, so now we need to create the angled cut. So take a pencil, ruler, and you want to come in along the top score line at 1 inch. Just mark with a pencil, and then again come in this side so it'll be at 4 inches, and then do that again on the other score line. So both score lines you just want to mark 1 inch and 4 inches. I just hold it up so you can see what I've done there. So just come in 1 inch on this side and come in 1 inch on that side. Do that on all of these pieces. So now what we're going to do is cut from each of the corners down to the pencil mark, and you'll just have to cut a little bit across that middle part there. So I'll show you on this one. So I'm cutting down. You might want to use your trimmer, or you might want to draw a line with your ruler so you know you're nice and straight. And then you can come and cut down the opposite side, but I'm just going to cut across like so. And then again from this corner all the way down, just to join up there. Okay, again I'll just show you on this bit. all the way up to that pencil mark. Just across the middle, and then you can, if you want, continue down like so. Okay, so just repeat that on the other two. Okay, and then when you've done them all, just sit them over the top of each other so the centres all line up. You see when they sit over the top there, you get that lovely design. With the pattern paper, so you'll have obviously a lot more pieces than I've got, but all of them will be the same height. The widths will be different, but the heights are the same, and it's along that side, so that 4 5/8 side, that you want to come in 7/8 of an inch. Now do bear in mind, if you've got directional paper, for example this one was directional, make sure that you're doing this on the side that's going to be laying next to the two score lines here. These two aren't directional, so it doesn't matter, so I can just lay my ruler down there and mark 7/8, and then again 7/8, and then I'm just going to snip across there. So you just go in from that pencil line to the corner, and that will give you your perfect mat layer. So again, on this one, I'm going to do it along this side here. Like so. And now that one's going to stick on there. So you're only, well, you might want to stick your pattern paper on all the pieces, but I'm only sticking them on the 3 front panels. The 3 back panels will stay plain. They're just, yeah, on the back. You can see here, none of those are decorated. Also, everything I'm using is from, well, I say everything. These papers, no, these ones, just this one is from a different Papercraft Society kit. Everything else is from this one here. So this one is using these lovely papers. That one was from an older pad, actually. I just wanted a bit of a contrast in design. I already made the garden gate card recently, and that was using the flowers here. But you've got gorgeous papers, toppers, that's where this topper is, these flowers, and you can download beautiful papers as well to cut with the dies. It's a really lovely kit. So all of that, as always, is linked below. So I'm going to stick down all the pattern paper now, get all of your pieces cut, and then I can show you how to put it together. So next we just want to start sticking them together. So you're going to add your glue. I'm going to use the quick grab, I think, just down the, let's call this the spine on each piece. So I'm starting with the smallest one. Add in my glue. And I'm going to stick it into the middle of that second piece, or the second tier. Just make sure it's right in that piece, so this one can kind of hug it, wraps around it really nicely. And then you'll fold that one, add your glue again, and then sit it inside this one. And make sure your sides run nice and parallel with each other. And then do the same with the back 3. Okay, so now I've got these 2 pieces, and then you're going to flip this one over and you're going to stick this now, so they're back to back. The 2 largest panels should sit right next to each other. So from the front, you shouldn't really see the ones behind. You might get the odd little bit, but they should all lay the same over each other. So if I carefully just lift up the first bunch, then you'll see those 3 now, and these 3. But we now need to create that spring and have them so they're nicely equally spaced. So take your 10 pieces, and you want to fold them so you have a mountain, a valley, and a mountain fold. So you should have a little M shape like this. That's how you want to fold them all. What you're going to do is add your glue to both of the 1/2 inch sides, and you're going to sit these in between each layer. I position mine in about the centre of each panel, so it's in the middle of that one, then I'll stick the next one in the middle of that one. So if you do one kind of side at a time, a little glue, and you want the M, or the two mountain folds, always facing out, and then add your glue to that side, keep it facing down, and now you've got your little spring. So it will go flat, but it will just pop up. And once you've added them to all of them, you can imagine how springy it becomes. So then fold that one up, take your next little spring, add a little glue, again in the middle. That way you don't really see them. You could bring them closer to the front if you wanted to. Again, glue on that next piece and just close that, making sure it folds under each time. And now we've got the second spring. And just repeat that now. Okay, so I've added most of the springs. I've just got the 2 left here. So stick them in the same way. You're just going to join it all up now. And now to decorate. So I've got this panel here. So you want to create a mountain fold on all of those score lines. And you're going to add glue to the 2 1/2 inch tabs. And this centre section here is the same width as these two, as the centre of the card. So you just want to line up those score lines. So just fold these in, add your glue. You may want your band to be thinner. You don't have to do it 1 inch, but you may want it thicker as well. You might have a bigger topper. With your toppers, you definitely want to go more kind of thin and tall rather than wider, because it will end up hitting the sides here. But have a little play around. So I'm just focusing on those score lines, making sure that they all line up and it's nice and straight. And then you just want to make sure it comes out like so. And that will now naturally push out. It will go flat when the card's down, and then you can see it just kind of lifts. And that's now where I can add my topper. So someone special, again, these are from that kit. So I'm just going to add a little glue just on that 1/4 inch piece. Anything else you want to build up, you can stick behind the topper now itself. So these flowers are all stuck behind this. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. You can see it's not touching the side, so it looks like it's floating. So I coloured these ones. I just cut them in white again, similar to the garden gate card that I made. So I'm going to have those coming out like so, and then I cut them again in gold. So I thought it'd be nice to just kind of tie in with the gold frame around the sentiment, but maybe do something like that. So get these all stuck down, and then I'll show you it when it's finished. I've finished the card. It's gorgeous. I love the gold behind the flowers there. I just think it catches the light really nicely. So I've taken one of these envelopes. I've got a ton of these. They match actually what I'm doing at the moment perfectly. It's the same as the purple one. I just picked up these coloured envelopes years ago, and yeah, trying to get those used. So I've gone through my stamps. I've got this little stamp book that I've had for ages, but I've just gone and organised some of them just by colour really and theme. I've got hundreds more stamps. This is just a very small amount, but these are the ones I'm kind of using a lot. The colourful ones of the Queen's head, and then all of the florals I've got here, and like trees. So it just took me seconds to pick these out now, so it's much quicker for me. And then I've got my little franking set here. So I'm going to take the same ones that I use, because the rest of the themes, you've got Christmas there, Valentine's, Easter, but these ones here are all year round. I'm going to do this one across the 3 like so, and then going to use this one up here just so I can add like the date, the time, little things like that. It's quite fun. And then I've got the little airmail one, even if I don't, which I just like, just adds another fun detail. There we go. So that's the top. I've got my wax paper because I'm not sending these yet. They're just all ready to go when I do. I've got my Happy Mail seal. Just show you, it is Happy Mail. I've just melted some of my gold wax beads there. So just flip this one over, pop your wax paper underneath. That means you can add your seal, but it won't seal the envelopes. But it is, like I said, ready to go when you do go to send it, and you can just add some moisture to the gum on the back of the envelope and it will seal as normal. And just pour your wax. And then just place that over the top and just leave that now to set. Okay, and then just give it a little test. If you just kind of hold it, you can feel when it's cool. Just give it a bit of a wiggle and it will just come off. There we go, it just kind of pops out. And then your wax paper just come away. You can see that lovely wax seal. Love it, love those finishing touches. So there is my finished card. It just, how cute does that look when it all matches together? So I'll just bring it up again so you can see all of that detail. It displays really easily. It will fit in the envelope. I will do a test now because I already done that one. So it is a bouncy kind of envelope. I mean, you might want to pop it in a nice box envelope with a, I did say during the live, with a nice like aperture so you can see the card. But just give it a little kind of pinch on each side to get it in. And then the rest will just slide in like so. There we go, just to prove it does all fit in the envelope. So thank you as always for watching today. I will have all of the products that I've used linked individually in the description box below, and I'll also have a link coming up here that will take you to Craft Stash so you can have a look there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because that way you won't miss out on any future videos. And coming up here I'll have a Springy playlist, Springy card playlist, because I have made quite a few with this kind of feel to them, but they're different shapes and styles. So check it out, you might want to watch that next. See you then, bye.